Good evening. Tonight on the 18 WJTS News, we'll hear how Crisis Connection is providing a preventative service in the battle of child abuse. Late last week, a Martin County Sheriff's investigation led to the arrest of 8 people, and State Senator Mark Messmer highlights what Indiana is doing on the front of future generational employment. This past Friday, an investigation by the Martin County Sheriff's Office has ended with the arrest of 8 people spanning Martin County and the seizure of over 13 grams of methamphetamine. The Sheriff's Department says in the early morning hours of March 24th, 2 separate search warrants requested by the Martin County Prosecutor's Office and issued by the Martin County Circuit Court were served and executed in Lagodi by the Martin County Sheriff's Office, the Lagodi Police Department, the Shoals Town Marshal, along with the Indiana State Police, which led to the arrest. Those taken into custody included 40-year-old Timothy Irvin of Lagodi, who is being charged with multiple crimes including dealing, maintaining a common nuisance, and neglect of a dependent, along with possession of a firearm by a violent felon. 18-year-old Brianna Irvin of Lagodi, who was arrested for maintaining a common nuisance and possession, 41-year-old Jackie Edmondson of Lagodi for dealing, possession, and maintaining a common nuisance, 38-year-old Jonathan Dant of Lagodi, who was charged with maintaining a common nuisance, and 25-year-old Jordan Spies of Odin, who was arrested for maintaining a common nuisance and possession. A subsequent investigation led the Sheriff's Office to the southeastern part of Martin County and Emmons Bridge Road, where again State Police and the Shoals Town Marshal assisted in executing search warrants. That also led to the arrest of 48-year-old Richard Boland of French Lick on multiple charges of dealing and possession. Boland was also found to be wanted in Clark County for methamphetamine charges. 34-year-old Kimberly Dobson of French Lick was arrested on numerous charges of possession as well as dealing. And finally, 57-year-old Steve Lewis of French Lick was taken into custody for visiting a common nuisance. All 8 were booked into the Martin County Jail in a multi-agency effort. During the bust, police recovered a firearm along with drugs, which included meth and marijuana, and multiple drug paraphernalia items. On the economic front, in the most recent unemployment data, Indiana's unemployment rate remains lower than our neighboring states and the national average. And our private sector employment numbers continue to grow. The state's total labor force stands at over 3.32 million Hoosiers, and Indiana's labor force participation rate is above the national average. District 48 State Senator Mark Messmer of Jasper says in order to keep these positive trends moving forward, he and fellow lawmakers feel it's important to prepare and invest in the future workforce. Messmer says Senate Bill 198 would increase funding for high school career and technical education courses in high-wage, high-demand job fields.
Senate Bill 198 would also send career and technical education grants directly to the institutions that provide the instruction, whether they be schools, cooperatives, or apprenticeship programs. The bill passed the Senate with bipartisan support and is now being considered by the House of Representatives.
Messmer says with the bill, lawmakers hope to ensure students and future workers are learning the skills necessary to fill in-demand job openings and help them explore different career choices. According to a survey by the Indiana Chamber of Commerce, 45% of responding Indiana businesses said jobs are being left unfilled due to applicants' lack of qualifications. Messmer says 27% of those businesses said their biggest challenge is hiring qualified workers.
Having a strong workforce is critical to our state's economic development. Reducing the skills gap and supporting technical training will better prepare future employees. Being able to fill these high-paying jobs with Hoosiers benefits both the people and the businesses of our state so that we can continue to be a state that works.
As always, you can contact Messmer's office directly with your questions and concerns by email at senator.messmer@iga.in.gov or by phone at 800-382-9467. April has been named the month to recognize sexual assault and child abuse awareness, and with that, Crisis Connection will be providing a free training coming up this next month for Stewards of Children. Stewards of Children is a revolutionary interactive prevention program developed by Darkness to Light, a national child sexual abuse prevention organization. The program educates adults to prevent, recognize, and react responsibly to child sexual abuse and to take proactive steps to protect children. Joanne Canese with Crisis Connection sat down with us and shared the knowledge that community members will walk away with over this very difficult topic.
So they'll actually learn the 7 steps for protecting children, so they'll actually have a protocol on this is what I need to do to recognize if child abuse is occurring. This is what I need to recognize if sexual assault is occurring. This is who I can go to. This is the resources for the family and the victim, that type of thing. And just become, I guess, more informed about a very difficult topic. This is not a fun topic, right? But no one deserves to be abused, and the more we can proactively as a community know what the issues are and take action to stop it, the better off we are.
The mission of Crisis Connection is to promote individual accountability and respect to end domestic and sexual assault through confidential crisis intervention, victim advocacy, primary prevention education, and collaboration with community partners. There are 2 training sessions coming up to recognize April as Sexual Assault and Child Abuse Awareness Month. The first will take place on April 7th and will start at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time at the Ferdinand Library with registration at 9 a.m. The second training session is on April 21st and will begin at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time at the Washington Carnegie Public Library with registration at 1 p.m. Both class sizes are limited to the first 25 participants. If you are interested in the Stewards for Children training, you can RSVP by calling 812-482-1555. And finally, in our last story of the evening, have you ever had a calling as a lay minister, or were you ever curious what that life would give? St. Meinrad Archabbey Library Gallery is hosting an exhibit of collages and poems that reflect on the life of lay ministry titled Words and Images. Words and Images will be on display now through Saturday, April 8th. The traveling exhibit originated at St. John's School of Theology and Seminary in Collegeville, Minnesota, and celebrates the 10th anniversary of the U.S. Bishop's document, Co-workers in the Vineyard of the Lord. The exhibit includes 15 collages along with a booklet of accompanying poems created by lay ministers. The exhibit is designed to draw people into the lives and ministry of lay ministers and help more people think collectively about the greater good, the church and its mission. For library hours, call 812-357-6401 or visit the Archabbey Library's website at stmeinrad.edu/library/hours. The exhibit is free and open to the public. Those wishing to view the exhibit are encouraged to arrive at least 30 minutes before closing time. Stay tuned. Coming up is Denny Spinner on Monday with the Mayor, followed by your weather outlook and 5-day forecast right after this.